fake Kelsey Grammer to kick this show off.
Let's kick this pig.
Here we go. Well, hello there, everyone. This is Keith from Keith's Comics, coming to you from the beautiful Keith's Comics warehouse and studio. After a blustery week last week, we are on the move to sell more comics. Make sure you're on the Keith's Comics Network Facebook page if you want to claim anything from tonight's show. Chris will be here showing you books one at a time. Isn't that right, Chris?
Yep.
There we go. There we go. Early adopters are here. Rich is here. Please don't spam. And also, please notice that there are no Daredevil spoilers allowed in the chat, please. So there we go. Pablo's here. All right, what'd you have for dinner, Pablo? It's a cubed steak, sauteed in onions, garlic, and tomato sauce, seasoned with adobo. Do you have a family adobo recipe, or do you just use some stuff off the rack there? Alan's here. Hiya! And there we go. We are all over the place. We found some really nifty old comics. There's a tiny taste of Silver Age in here. I didn't see much bronze in there, but then we got some newer stuff too. Also, don't forget that there is a variant show after this show. We closed down the show about 45, 50 minutes. We reset. Chris departs and Cindy steps in, and we do a very quick variant show for you people who love the variants. You borrow the Goya family recipe. You know, we're a big fan of the Goya family too. They do good work over there. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh, we wanted to talk to you about something. We just put our orders in, and it's blowing up. It's going to be a huge. And let me see if I can put that up right there. Batman 158 comes out in 3 weeks, and that's going to be Loeb and Jim Lee. Yeah, are returning to Batman for Hush 2, Silence. And it's going to be huge. It's going to be gigantic. And there's all the covers. Make sure that if you are into Batman, you do not miss this. And make sure you check with your local Keith's Comics. Make sure you're down with that. There's all the different covers. The one on the far right-hand side is the A cover. There's also a blank cover available, and ratio variants that we haven't listed here. There's a foil that's... I forget that. Hey, Kaylin, do you remember what the cover price on this book is? Is it $4.95 or $5.95? I can't remember.
It was $4.99.
$4.99. $4.99, and then the foils will be somewhere around $6.99. But they're also doing something special that I've seen for the first time. There's an oversized Batman number 158 that will be the original art on artboard size. So it's going to be bigger than a Treasury edition. It's on the actual 1-to-1 that Jim Lee did the artwork on it. And it has... what we saw is that it has spot color with the sound effects and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's in black and white. So it's going to be a pretty cool book at $14.99. So if you are into this kind of stuff, don't miss out. Make sure you talk to your local Keith's Comics and get that all lined up. Yes, pre-order. It's out in 3 weeks. Do not miss out on this really cool, really big shoe. All right, there we go. I'll probably mention that again during the regular show, but for now, Cindy, would you go find if he didn't get blown away, the fake Kelsey Grammer so we can get started?
Let's kick this pig.
There we go.
Keith's Comics.
All right, audio check. Looks like we're green across the board. Let's see the first book.
First book is Wonder Woman in her no costume phase.
Oh, this is right at the end of Silver Age, Bronze Age. Is I Ching there? Looks like he's been
Shot.
The Earthquaker. So if you are interested in this book, if it meets your FOMO and your want list and what you have in your budget, it's going to be $6 if you claim it here. If you let it go out to one of our stores, it's going to be $8. And if this is something that you cannot live without, make sure you're on the Keith's Comics.
You're very echoey.
Somebody turn off one of the. Little Timmy came and got me out of the well. I don't know. I might turn on the Keith cam later on. How about now?
How about now?
Still echoey. Which side do you have the...
On my right side here.
I'm going to turn your microphone down just a little bit then. See if that helps it out a little bit. Maybe I'm just echoey today. I split personality.
Maybe it's what you ate.
All right.
Maybe you ate something that made you echoey.
Yeah, all right. Could be. Hopefully it gets better.
It helped a little bit. Still there, but
I don't know. We'll have to sort that out. But maybe I need one of those little fluffy things over my microphone. But anyway, let's get back to where we were at. If you need this book, make sure you're on the Keys Comics Network to claim it. We simulcast at our other Keys Comics Facebook pages, and we also put this on our YouTube channel. And if you haven't been checking out the YouTube channel, you've been missing out. Caitlin's been putting some fun stuff on there. She's been doing some reels. Make sure you visit over to our Tick and the Talk. Is that how the young kids say it? Sure it is. And then what else we got? Basically, we're everywhere. Don't forget keyscomics.com and keep up with all the things that are going on. Wonder Woman number 187. Is that what I'm reading there? From 1970?
Hope so.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Move everything left just a little bit. And next up,
Mephisto versus the Fantastic Four and versus the Avengers and versus, well, everybody. He's Mephisto. He likes to cause trouble.
wow. He's a demon. From 1987, this miniseries, all 4 issues here. Beautiful VF copies. $18 in store, $12 if you claim it here. That is all. That was just that. It wasn't Mephisto versus the Fantastic Four 1 through 4, and then Mephisto versus the Avengers 1 through 4, was it?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I think he was just fighting everybody.
Well, whatever we gave in this package, that's what you're bidding on. How about that?
Yeah.
Next up.
Next up, Superman making out with a different woman.
Oh my! Neil Adams cover looks like there from 1971. Oh good gosh! Let's see here. Lock that down. Lock that down. Lock the comic cam. Hey, see, look there. Oh my gosh!
But if her name doesn't start with LL, we riot.
There we go. There's the Keith Cam. Hello, everyone. I'm Keith from Keith's Comics. Superman, number 19 from 1971. What number? I didn't even write what number that is.
Nope.
No, what number is it?
That's number 243. 243.
243 from 1971. $15 in store. $12. It's a well-read VG copy, but still, where's Ty? We need him in here. All right, next up.
To Horror 128. Because wait for it. It's Thor's Day up in here. It's Thor's Day. It's finally here. Thor's Day. All right, Thor number 128 from 1966. Oh, the power of Pluto. Are they whipping that? His dog has that much power.
I don't know, man. They're about to whip the snot out of that dog. Look at that. Beautiful VG copy. Nice reader from 1966. $25 in store. $15 if you claim it here. Oh, wow. Look at that. And we can move everything left, if you would, please. Next up.
Left.
Because of the echo, you see two key scams? That's unfortunate.
14.
Nobody wants to see that. A Swamp Thing from 1975. That's Alfredo Caleb or Val Merrick. I can't remember which one of that it is. I can't remember. Very similar this time period. $15 in store. $9 if you claim to hear. Maybe I have my audio on. Sound on my computer. Turn it off. Maybe it's finding that inside. All right. Swamp Thing number 14, $15. Look, that's crazy. That's a beautiful book. It's great colors on it. $9 if you claim it here. Next up.
Next up, we got Aliens versus Predator Annual.
Wow. You know, in the late 90s, the print runs on these were pretty low. It seems like recently we've been working a lot of books, and I have been surprised by a bunch of stuff I hadn't seen before. I even ordered this book. I don't have any memory of it. This Alien vs. Predator AVP annual from 1999, a VF copy, $14 in store, $10 if you claim it here. Alien, that is a pretty buff Predator right there.
He's been working out. He didn't even skip leg day.
Didn't skip leg day. Well, nobody likes to skip leg day. Next up,
oh, look. We got an oldie but a goodie.
Hey is, there we go. Somebody, who was it that requested that I put an old Batman up if I found one? And, I don't remember who that was. Let's see if I can figure it out. This is a very old one. It's a little faded, but man, I flipped through this book. It's pretty swell. It's pretty solid on the inside. I looked at it real hard. That bottom staple, I can't tell if it's been replaced, but if they did, they just did a heck of a job replacing it. So there's no, it doesn't look to me like there's any damages on there whatsoever. So, Glenn, are you here? Glenn, because I think that you asked me if I had what's the oldest Batman. I think this is the oldest Batman I have. From 1953, that would be a Golden Age book, right? So most people. Is Jerry here? He'll tell us. From 19 issue Detective Comics. Look at this. You got a Batman and Robin story. They fighting the executioners, and then who else is in there? Powwow Smith. That's all Western stuff, right?
Yep.
And then also, I forget who else is in here, but no other superheroes that I remember in there. A detective was all about the detectiving, right?
I'm trying to figure out where this guy gets a license to kill, because if you ask people at the DMV, they just look too funny.
Well, there you go. $400. These books. What is that? That makes this is a 70-year-old book now.
Mm-hmm.
72 years old. Man, that's older than Rich. $325, and you can put this cool Batman book in your collection. Next up,
we got an index. The Heroes of Strange Tales.
We've been working on that. Maybe I do have several mics open. There we go. All right. Okay. This is pretty cool stuff right here. I'd forgotten about these. From 1977, someone got the rights, or Marvel allowed them to do it. But it is a really, really cool walk through Strange Tales, starting with the superhero stuff. It gives you the cover and gives you all the people who worked on it, anything that happened in it, and then it follows the characters after they left Strange Tales. So this also, it's falling off. The little star's falling off, Chris.
Oh, stars are falling.
Yeah. I mean, this was done in 1977, so it's, for the time, it's pretty contemporary, but it also follows through when Doctor Strange takes over the title, and then whenever he gets his new issue #1, it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat resource, especially since it's so close to the time all that stuff happened. $8 in store, $6 if you want to know everything there is to know about Strange Tales from the late 60s through the early mid-70s. Next up,
we got Blue Beetle. #1 from
Blue Beetle #1. What is it? What's the deal on that?
They had the rights to the characters, and then Alan Moore's did Watchmen, and they went, "Yeah, we can't.
We're not going to let you."
They just basically did their own comic versions of the characters that they bought the rights to.
Yeah, didn't he turn in this draft? I don't know if it's true or not, but I always heard that he turned in the draft and they said, wait, you can't, we were going to use these characters eventually. You can't do that. So he kind of redid it all.
Him, Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, The Question, Peacemaker had a mini-series.
Yeah, so all this stuff.
So they all...
But so this is right...
Nightshade didn't have her own thing.
Yeah, this is right after the Crisis, right?
Yeah.
They kind of say, because of the Crisis, we're going to put all these characters in the regular continuity. Mm-hmm. So from 1986, this is Blue Beetle entering into the mainstream DC universe. Fine plus. $12 in store, $9 if you claim it here. Next up.
I think we're going to do a little swag.
Swag time already? Goodness gracious me. Swag time. How come all my songs sound the same? Swag time. It's delicious. Swag time. Swag time. All right, what do you got there, Chris?
First, we got a promotional card for the March Spectre Moon Knight series.
All right.
At the time.
1989, and on the back of this card it said, "Come collect all 6 of the cards and enter our contest, and you can win the original art by John Byrne of the promotional poster for next year's crossover event." So holy smokes, I wonder who won that, because that would have been pretty cool. Now this is a conditional offering, means that we know we have a regular Moon Knight person, and this was found in a box of a collection that we just picked up. And these old kind of things, from 1989, that's pretty old. That's pretty cool. Some completist Moon Knight collector would surely give us $3 for that. If you're interested, let us know, but the conditional offering will slide in front of you if Sam decides he can't live without it. Next up,
Ooh, look, Choose Your Own Adventures by Steven Jackson.
oh wow, do you remember what years were these? Mid 70s, late 70s, 80s? All right, so it's
83, I think.
so it's a choose your own adventure in like a D&D book, right?
Yep. Yeah, but you have to get dice, and it gets paper and a pencil, so you can write down all the stuff you're looting and stuff.
And so you don't even need a friend, right?
Yep.
$7 for this one. What is that one? Hey, Sam.
Like COVID days for D&D.
There you go. Oh, what's next?
Next up, we got another one.
All right.
Cars, City Porto Traps, which sounds like a fun kind of place.
Yeah, let's not go there. $6 for this one. Is this Easy Reader says it's a number 2? Is that what it's saying up there?
2.
We just bought a big older collection with a whole bunch of Dungeon magazines and Dragon magazines. If that's something that you're interested in, it takes us a long time to sort through those because that's not our jam. Yeah, it's lots of stuff. But there we go. This Steve Jackson Sorcery, $6. Next up,
and last of our swag, another Steve Jackson book, Sorcerer, The Seven Serpents, number 3.
all right. Oh, that is a cool look. Who is that? That's a cool looking creature on the front of there. That's neat.
There's some good art in those. Ian McCaig, longtime fantasy artist, was in that first book that we put in. I don't know who did these other ones. But they're all interior illustrations and stuff like that, so it's really nice.
All right, $6 for this. All right, what else we got?
We're back to the regular show.
All right, let's see. Close out the swag time. Now, where is that at? Sweet swag. Sweet swag. All right, next up.
Cyclops Felling.
What? You say that like it's not uncommon. You won't let me die, right?
Yeah.
Issue 139 of the X-Men from 1980. $20 in store for this newsstand version of this book, featuring the always laughable Cyclops, which is his 40th consecutive fail here. In this one, someone gets killed. Well, not usually. $15 if you can't live with.
On his eyes or give away.
That's right. Has the I've been tinkering with the mics. Let me know if any of that echo has gone away. Next up,
first issue special, Atlas.
All right, it's all Kirby all the time. First issue special was I don't think anybody got more than one issue on first issue special.
No, they were all just kind of intro,
like one shots.
Yeah, trying to go like the pilots when they put in the regular TV shows, they put a pilot near the end to go, hey, want to spin this character off? Oh, no one likes him? Okay.
No, it was just a one shot. What was that? We talked about that from Magnum PI. That was the Hunter had a spin-off like that.
The classic one was Star Trek, where they had Gary Seven appear.
And he didn't make it?
And they just said, nah, that's all right.
We're passing. $6 for this issue of first issue special number 1 from 1975. Next up, Alan, it's not disdain if it's true.
Daredevil versus the Dark Messiah.
Wow, first and probably last appearance of the Dark Messiah. Issue number 97 here is a nice solid mid-grade copy of that. You said this is the first issue where Black Widow gets equal billing, right?
Is it? If I said it, then it must be true.
Oh, okay. Well, Chris claims that. How about that? From 1973, issue 97, nice solid mid-grade. $6, $10 if it gets out to the stores. Next up,
World of Krypton miniseries. We're Superman looking at his parents' wedding.
Oh, man. That's sad. From 1979, very early miniseries. I don't know how many miniseries there were before this. World of Krypton. There's only 3 parts. They hadn't figured out that 4 parts. Been read a couple of times, but still, if you are a Superman fan, and this is not in your collection, shame on you. $6 will get it done, though. Next up.
Incredible Hulk.
Was it Daredevil 82? I think you might be right about that. Now that I think about it.
Was it?
No, I think you had it right, but I'm getting the book confused.
Okay.
All right, Incredible Hulk number 103 from 1968 versus the Space Parasite. Yikes.
Hate that guy.
Now, I'm never going out into space after. You can get dead or a parasite, one of the two. VG Plus copy of this. Look at that. Look at how those colors are killer. Nice. Next thing you know, he's going to be fighting Thor in there, and he's going to say, "We're friends from work." $25 in store. What did I say? $19 if you claim it here. $19 for the Incredible Hulk number 103. Next up,
Star Spangled War Stories 110. There's a lot more dinosaurs in World War II that I hadn't heard about in history books.
Yeah, well, you just never been out to Monster Island, or is it Island X, or what is it? Where do they all end up out there? This Suicide, they didn't even call them Suicide Squad yet. They were still the Suicide Squadron.
Or was it Task Force X?
Well, that was who they were first. But here on the cover of this, they call them the Suicide Squadron's Mystery Mission versus a red Tyrannosaurus. Well, for all we know, they were red. But by golly. Issue 110, although they did find, last week I saw an article that they have found an almost complete a dinosaur. So they kind of got more feeling for what the skin looks like. It's pretty cool.
They should clone them.
That sounds like a really, really bad idea or an awesome movie.
There's a bunch of movies that say that's a bad idea, but I still want to clone dinosaurs.
From 1963, this VG Plus copies. Look at that. It's pretty nice. $50. If you want to see what the high-end SEAL operatives versus dinosaur looks like, give me $30 and you can find out. Next up,
Adventures into the Unknown.
Whoa, pre-code horror. Yes, please. From ACG Comics. I bet you didn't even ever hear of them. A 10-cent comic from 1951. Oh, it's a Puppet Master. Issue 26 here is a nice, solid VG. It's a little rolled spine there. Got, some rusty staples, it looks like there. What is that, $150 in store? $100 if you claim it here. And if you know pre-code horror, you know. If you know, you know. Next up.
Another X-Men. Ooh, with the Shi'ar fighting the Brood.
Oh, there we go. A little Paul Smith action, it looks like there.
Oh, yeah.
Issue 166 is from 1983. This is a really nice copy of the Shi'ar and the Wolverine and Cyclops versus the Brood, which was their version of Aliens. And hopefully at some point someone will get the bright idea to have an X-Men versus Aliens movie. Man, that would be so cool.
X-Men versus Aliens versus the Brood. That'd just be awesome.
Yeah, throw the Brood out. $9. Man, that seems like too cheap. But there you go. Also, you can also see that I think Cyclops is still on the team at this one, but you wouldn't know because he's probably holding up the rear somewhere around there. Always let Wolverine go first, then the Colossus, and then even man, that is another version of Kitty Pryde's costume, isn't it? Was that a big X on her forehead? Oh my gosh! $9 to see how Cyclops can fail again. Next up,
Awesome World's Finest that Dave Gibbons and Steve Rude did miniseries.
Steve Rude and Dave Gibbons. Was this 3 issues or 4 issues?
3 issues.
3 issues, all prestige format.
Oh, yeah.
What did we do? Did a
yeah.
sticker fall off? Oh, there we go. There, all 1, 2, 3 is $15 in store, $8 if you claim it here. $8 for that's probably less than cover price. That book's 30 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
If you haven't read it, it's a really good story, and Steve Rude's art has never been better.
There we go. Alan's telling us that there was a great Paul Smith art in that. Yes. Next up.
Action Comics 320.
Action Comics 320. What is that? The 3 super enemies? It looks like the 3 Stooges,
Hercules,
actually.
What, Zeus and Atlas, I think they said? Atlas, Samson, and Hercules.
Oh, okay. From 1965, well-read Shazam. Issue 320, $6. Next up.
Next up, we got a Iron Man miniseries, The Future. Not the singer, but There you go.
All right, issues 521 through 527 or whatever number it's on there. It's too small for me.
Yeah, it is.
Got to put my glasses on here. Yeah.
Matt Fraction did the story.
There we go. All right, $10 in toto for all of those issues of that storyline called The Future, Part 1. $10. Next up.
Batman Adventures.
Hey, Larry,
Annual
welcome.
number 2.
Welcome to the show, Larry. Glad to see you. I got something for you, Larry, and we're just gonna end up triggering everybody here tonight. All right, next up is a cool Paul Dini cover. Is that right? Or Bruce Timm.
Bruce Timm did the interiors also.
Bruce
Him
Timm.
and Etrigan and Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, I didn't even know Ra's al Ghul was here. From 1994, this is annual number 2 of the Batman Adventures run. Paul Dini doing the writing there. He's the one that created Harley Quinn.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. $8 in store, $6 if you claim it here. Next
And he
up.
actually married Zatanna.
Oh,
his wife
yeah,
is
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
Lady Magician. Walt Disney Comics from 1951. 128.
Yeah, Walt Disney Comics and Stories, number 128. A very low grade. What do we say? A fair 1.0. It looks like it got left out in a puddle on the backyard. But still, classic Carl Barks stuff here, I believe. $6 still for this book that's from 1951. Carry the 3. I can't even do the math. 72 years? 76? 74 years? Goodness gracious me. $6 for this cool. Oh, look at that. Huey, Dewey, and Louie have different color hats. How come I never noticed that before? That's how you tell them apart.
Switch out the hats.
Do they? They just to run
People.
just to run roughshod over you. Next up.
Next up, Supergirl number 2.
Oh, that's neat. From 1973, we always have a number 1 in the show. Number 2, who is that? That's got to be Vinnie Coletta inking, though, right? Is that George Tuska doing that work? I can't tell. No. $6 if you want to. But what's really cool about it is it has a Zatanna backup story. It's just pretty swell stuff. $6 for Supergirl number 2 from 1973. Next up.
Next up, we got another prestige trilogy of books, Superman Doomsday by Jurgens.
After they made a, I guess technically it was called a crap ton of money from the death of Superman and Doomsday, and said, let's trot that horse back out there in 1994. 3-issue miniseries in prestige format, $15 in store. See, nobody got caught sleeping on that one. There's almost every collection we get in from this vintage. There's one of those. It's pretty sweet. Versus Doomsday again, $10 if you claim it here. $10. Next up.
We got early Avengers 88.
Oh, yes. Avengers number 88 from 1971. This is my favorite time period, but this is not John Buscema, but instead his brother Sal doing the artwork here. And it's got what's that guy's name? Ellison Wharton? I can't remember his name. Ellison doing the scripts. Actually, he did. It's his plot and his story with Thomas doing. Roy Thomas doing the scripting on this with the Sal artwork on the inside. Look at that first Tiny Hulk. Oh, isn't he cute? And first appearance of Cyclops, and probably last appearance of Cyclops. $30 in store. $24 if you want to see what the heck was old Giant Man doing there. We can find out. $24. Next up,
Lightning Round.
Lightning Round. It's time for Pablo's nap. Here we go.
Only $1 comic.
Lightning Round is $1, $2, and $3 books. We're going to go through very quickly because we have $1, $2, and $3 bins in the stores. Check them out. They're pretty cool stuff. First up is Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. What number from 1969 is?
117.
Number 117, $1. That's still a Neil Adams cover, right?
Yeah,
it is. All right, next up.
Batman 4. This is the $2 books. Batman 49.
Batman 49 from the current run. This is the month where Neil Adams did a whole bunch of covers. This is I've been read a little bit, and it's only $2. Next up,
We got a Fat Albert book.
Hey, it's Fat Albert. This is a book that they reprinted many times, and it's you should move everything left so they can see the whole book. Yeah, there we go. This was a hey kids, don't do drugs or alcohol. This is the 1990 version. It's only $2. You should purchase it. Ironically, next up,
Marvel Team Up. Marvel Team Up 42.
oh yeah, it's off center just a little bit there, but that just makes it interesting, right? Spider-Man, the Vision, Death is that Death Diggler? I can't remember his name.
No, it says Dark Rider.
Sure it does. All right, $2 for Marvel Team Up. Next up,
Strange Tales 186.
there we go. Featuring, is this like a reprint of the Origin of the Ancient One?
136 and 137.
Yeah, so that's only 5 years earlier, and they're already coming back and doing reprints. Strange Tales, number 189. This is what number is that? 176. Yeah. All right. These were all reprints at the time. Next up,
Drew number 4 from Eclipse.
From Epic. Did he err? Do we have anybody looking to complete a Gru run out there? Because we haven't had anybody in a while, but we have plenty of them in the warehouse, and so every once in a while we'll trot one out there and see if we'll run it up the flagpole, see who salutes. Gru from Epic, number 4, $2. Next up,
Marvel Tales is the last of our $2 books. This one has a split cover on it.
oh yeah, the front cover comes completely off. I think we had this book in a previous show recently, but it's an awesome book, and if you don't have one in your collection, you should, because it reprints the first appearance of the Lizard, a very early Thor, some early Ant-Man stuff there, and very early, who's in the Strange Tales there? That's Doctor Strange, right? Cool book. I mean, the cover comes completely off, but inside of it is perfect. Gru cover that has the Conan homage. I thought they were all Conan homages. Next up,
we got the $3 books. We got a Legend of the Dark Knights.
First appearance of some giggly Joker or something like that. I forgot what it is. The Robin King first appearance. Yeah, $3. Next up,
Werewolf by Night, the more recent 220 version.
he's a werewolf by night. Yeah, the new version by the Black Eyed Peas, Taboo. $3 for Werewolf by Night. Next up,
Red Goblin, Red Death.
oh, Red Goblin, Red Death. I was not familiar with Red Goblin, so I asked Kaylin to do a little research. And Kaylin, what was the deal, Pickle?
He is Green Goblin's grandson, and then he's Spider-Man and Mary Jane's godson. And he was bitten by a piece of like carnage. And that's about it. And I saw.
Well, there we go. Isn't that enough? And now he's a Red Goblin. But you said he goes by Normie.
Yeah, that's his name.
That's his nickname. Red Goblin, $3 for number 1. Next up,
Night Force number 1.
Pacific Comics number 4. All right. I would bet money that we have that somewhere. We're probably going to make you buy all 4 issues, though. Night Force number 1. What number is that? Number 1, and that's Gene Colan, right? $3. Next up,
Marvel Tales 118.
Marvel Tales 118 with a great cover versus all those guys. Neat. If you need a cool Spider-Man book, that one's only $3. Next up,
Swamp Thing 13.
there we go. That's Alfred Color, isn't it? Right? $3.
That is Alex Nino.
Is it really?
Signature and
Well, that would be it. That would be doing it. All right, $3 for that Swamp Thing. Next
Marvel
up.
Tales 135.
Oh, no. He says, I will marry your aunt. If not, I'll choke you to death. $3. The ghost of Carrot Top there? No, that's Flat Top. No. That's Hammerhead. $3 for this Marvel Tales. Next up.
Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, 108. With what is it? Invisible Ghost?
It looks like the Gentleman Ghost. I don't think it is, though. $3, right?
Yep.
Next up.
Marvel Tales 91.
Oh, Spider-Man bugs out. He says, I'm done. $3 for this Spider-Man where he's done. Next up.
Superman pal Jimmy Olsen, 88.
All right. You didn't know one of Superman's many powers was the power to dance. Well, now you do know.
Super dances.
There we go. $3. These are all sliding down. You might want to pull some. Next up.
X-Force 1.
X-Force 1, not polybag, doesn't have a trading card. If you just need a reader copy, here you go, $3. Next up.
Lobo Elseworlds, number 3, or number 2.
He's in the old Wild West.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a whole bunch of stories. So
Oh, okay.
just put them all in there.
The main man. All things. Looks like we're about to revisit 1991 through 1993. As soon as the first image of Lobo is from the movie shows up, we all things. Get your Lobo while you can, ladies and gentlemen. Next up,
World's Finest 211, the last of our lightning round.
World's Finest number 211. It looked like they're losing their powers. I bet that happened like once a year. What do you want to bet?
Yeah.
And there we go. Lightning round is over. Somebody go wake up Pablo. All right, next up.
Next up, back to our regular show, Superman Family 196, where he's dancing on a propeller.
That's a Garcia Lopez cover,
Yep.
though. All right. What's this is just a really cool book. Issue 196 of Superman Family. In case you didn't know, Superman Family took over the numbering of Jimmy Olsen, and so there we go from 1979. $6 for this really cool. What is that? Oh, it's what's really cool. Tucked in the middle of this is a really nifty Earth 2 Superman Lois Lane story. $6 for this Superman Family. Next up.
Next, Thor 21.
Oh,
God of Hammers.
the first full guard of Hammers. I think he was cameoed several times there. Issue number 21 from 2022. $10 in store. $7 if you claim it here. Next up.
Bought the first World of Krypton miniseries. Get the second one.
All right.
In the 80s.
From the 80s. All right. This is 4 parts, too. VF copies of these. $10 in store. $6 if you claim it here during the show. Type claim
Mignola did the
Krypton
first
2.
Issue, I believe.
Was that?
Mignola did the art in the first issue, I believe.
Oh, wow.
He might have done the other ones, but I think that's the only one I ever got.
There you go. You can fix that. Next up.
It's Batman and Lobo.
Oh, boy.
It's great together.
Who is that on? Is that Bisley doing the cover of that? Oh, wow. $25 from the year 2000. Who greenlit this project, for goodness sakes? $25 in store, $20 if you claim it here. Check out Batman, Bisley doing Batman, and, well, he always did Lobo, but wow. Next up.
Next up, Avengers 98.
Oh, yes. The Warhawk, which I think ends up being... who's the god of war? Ares. I think he ends up being there. From 1972, this is also, does it say this has Barry Windsor Smith artwork in there with Sal Buscema inking, I believe. $15 in store, $11 if you claim it here. A solid fine minus copy of issue number 98. You can see this is very early Barry Windsor Smith, right? When did Conan start? 70 or 71? 71, and you know he didn't have to draw any superheroes in there, so seeing him draw early superheroes, I can remember the first time everybody was all, oh, it's a Barry Windsor Smith comic, and I finally got one. I'm like, this guy blows chunks, man. Yeah, it did, but now he's one of my favorites. But man, those early ones, yeah. Next up,
Superboy 114.
Oh, Cindy, I forgot to tell you about this one. This Superboy issue, it's got a fun Superboy story in the front. It's a Crypto versus Mixopidlic. So if if you ever were on the Mixopidlic bandwagon, this will get you right off when you see that he's defeated by a dog who can't even talk. Gets him to say his name backwards. It's a fun little story in the back of this Superboy number 164, whatever it is there. You know, how much did I say that was?
$6.
$6. Next up,
another Marvel Tales.
Oh, this is a really nice copy of this.
Spider-Man story in there.
Yeah, this is if you could read only one Spider-Man story, this is the one you should read, where he's looks like they might have had Romita redo this page there, but where he's trapped under all that machinery and he's got to get to Aunt May, but he's got to stop this guy. Ooh, man, this Marvel Tales has it all. The classic Spider-Man story, a Thor story, and a nice little fun romp of the Human Torch from Strange Tales. $10 is a steal for this book. $6 if you claim it here. Is that what I put on there? I can't tell because the Keith cam is kind of over the front. $6. Next up,
Superman with a classic Nick Cardy cover.
Oh, yeah, always happy to have one of these. Eva, this is a nice Fine Plus copy of this crossover book. I guess Star Sapphire, that was a Green Lantern villain, right? Are the Angelettas on the channel? Can you confirm that? This is, wow, it is a classic Nick Cardy cover, issue 261. Really nice copy. $25 in store. $20. What? It was his Superman Player Night. He had a woman on the other cover that he was...
I think he had a woman on every planet.
He had a woman on every planet. $20. There we go. $20 if you claim it here.
Call him Superman for nothing.
Next up,
Daredevil 81.
Oh, there we go. This is it's a very expensive book now because it's a very early appearance of this Black Widow version. This copy is a VG minus because you can't even tell it, but it's got a big honking stain right over Daredevil. I mean, it's like a quarter of the book stain. So if you just need a nice reader copy for $6, we got your hook up here. This is a thick double-sized book too. Not quite a prestige format, but it's a thicker book. 25 cents, $10 in store, $6 if you claim it here. Next up.
It's got staples, it's not square back.
It's kind of both because that's when they did those. The Sapphires are one of the other corps. Oh, okay. Rich, make sure did you hear me talk about how low grade that Daredevil is? So, all right, there we go. Green Lantern versus one of his super spare villains, Sonar, right? Issue number 19. This is a low grade, perfectly readable, but someone felt like they needed to put tape on the entire spine back in like 1965. Or did they have tape?
1965.
Is Jerry? Did they have tape in 1965? I don't know because they didn't have plastic until the 40s, right?
They had to make it out of yak hair.
Barnacles they scraped from ships and stuff. From Green Lantern number 19 from 1963, $12 in store, $8 if you claim it here. Next up.
Next, Thor.
1930.
1930,
By
really?
Richard Drew.
Yeah, but he might have invented it then. It's like I invented.
It was Richard Drew came up with his greatest invention: Scotch brand cellulose tape.
Neat. All right, things that hold us together. Thor number 2. Is that right? Is this the 1 in 25?
Yep.
Ribic. Oh, why is it in this show? That was supposed to be in the other show. Which?
I just pulled off the shelf.
I saw you organizing them over there. A variant got the. This is a good time to remind you that after this show is done, we will fire up a second show about 10 minutes later, and it'll have variants like this. This is a very early appearance of
Thor's new outfit.
I think it's Jane Foster Thor, right? $5 though for this issue of Thor number 2, the 1 in 25 Ribic variant. Next up,
Thor 173 with Luthor and Brainiac.
Oh yeah, those guys. Peak shenanigans for Superman. Mr. Luthor. What is that? I put fair on there. Is that right? That means it's a 1.5, 1.0. I got it to look really nice in this Mylar, but it's beat up. It just makes it a good reader copy. $6 though for this great classic Superman story. Next up,
more variants in our regular shows. The Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu Zero.
Oh,
thank you variant.
All right, make sure there's no more variants in this show because otherwise our variant show is going to be light. All right.
I've got two big stacks here.
All right.
You would have had to have got them off of here.
No, it's all on the regular show area.
Regular show. Is that with the chicken and that, what was that other character in the regular
I
show?
thought it was a raccoon.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. It was
And
a
a
raccoon and a
hummingbird.
blue jay.
Oh, see, there you go. Ha! Ha! In your face!
The gumball machine was their landlord or something like that.
Oh, that's right. It was a funny show. Moon Knight number 0. This is from 2024. This was a thank you variant. Marvel just sent these to us. One per store. So you can see we had this as much as $45, $18 if you claim it here. I think we already sold Sam one, but so if you need another one, if you need a reader copy, Sam, jump in there. We'll take care of it. Next up,
miniseries. JLA created equal 2-issue miniseries, prestige format. Nicieza and McGuire doing the story.
So this is like a Why the Last Man before or right after Why the Last Man, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So all the male superheroes depart. So.
And Lois Lane had Superman's baby.
Oh, yikes. Dun, dun, dun. $10 for the 2-part JLA created equal storyline, or $7 if you claim it here. Next up.
Last 3 books.
3.
Fantastic Four 105. Fantastic Four 105.
Oh, Fantastic Four 105. And this is John Romita has taken over the book after Kirby's quick exit stage left. But what's really cool, and I was reading an article about it because I was fascinated. Did he do this on purpose? Yes, Romita made sure whenever he took over this book that he made the Fantastic Four look like they had looked like. So it's a real Kirby-esque. And they even said if you go look at his early time that he took over for Spider-Man, is real Ditko-esque. So that's pretty awesome. Fantastic Four number 105 here from 1970. A really nice VG Plus copy. $20 in store. $15 if you claim it here. Next up.
And I jumped ahead. I'm a liar who dirty lies. This is the 3rd book of the night.
3. All right. Issue 150. Oh, this is 4-color number 157. Mickey Mouse and the Beanstalk. Look at that. They used every page in this book. It is a poor 0.5. I mean, it's there, but not all in one consecutive piece. From 1947. All right. If you want a really cool Disney Anna, look at that. That's just sweet looking, though, right? Can you imagine how cool that would have looked on a brand new newsstand? Is that how it looked to you, Rich? Did it look really nice? $6. Next up.
Next up, Superman Family 197.
Nice.
Second book.
Second, 2 more Superman Family VF copy this time. Ooh, nice. From 1979. $10 in store. $7 if you claim it here. Next up.
Last book of the night. X-Men 157.
All right. You just thought she was dead. This nice mid-grade copy of Uncanny X-Men. Did she really return? I forget. This is after X Factor? God, you just can't keep a good villainess down. From 1981, $6. $6 for this. And there we go. There we go. Another show in the books. Don't forget we have a show after this. The show's prices stay good for, 35 hours? Whatever I put on there. Look at that up.
Till Sunday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
yeah, till Saturday evening. Then we bundle everything up and try to get it out. Mr. Irby, did anybody call you and tell you we found your books? Finally, they accidentally got sent to Mockingbird for some reason unknown to us. I'm going to blame Kaylin only because she's not listening right now.
She's looking.
I heard that.
Oops.
See, who doesn't work for us anymore? We're blaming them. Yeah.
Yeah, Esteban did it.
Yeah, Esteban did it.
Dadgum, that Esteban. All right. So make sure you hang out for a little while, take a little break, go to the little comic collector's room, and come back and see us in about 10 minutes when we're going to do a variant show, and we'll buzz right through that and find some really cool. There is some really neat, fun stuff in that variant show. For Keith's Comics, I am Keith. Chris has been here with me.
Yep.
Kaylin has been over there keeping us on the straight and narrow. And Cindy's been minding her own knitting over there, literally. For Keith's Comics, I am Keith, and if I don't see you in the stores, I'll see you next time. All right, looks like they want another book. Chris, you got one?
I got one more book.
Hey, put it up.
Hey, we're the monkeys.
That's not the monkeys. Those are the four caballeros.
Oh, is it? Oh, my bad. hey, it's for Cavalier.
Issue number 3 from 1967. A really swell. Look at the Reddit on that. VG Plus copy of this. $18 in store. $10 if you cannot live without this copy of the monkeys. Who's left on there?
Mickey Dolan's, I think. That's still alive.
No, he's not. It is.
Jordan?
No, maybe it is Mickey Dolenz. Yeah, I think you're right. No, they're not at Firewheel. They're still at Mockingbird. No, they're still at Mockingbird because they just found them today underneath something, Alan. So,
We'll give you a call.
yeah, believe me, someone will call you.
Yeah.
But there we go. The Monkees number 3 from 1967, $10, and there we go. Another one in the books. All right, see you all in a few minutes. For Keith's Comics, I'm Keith, and I'll see you next time.
Keith's Comics.